Hey, good morning, HPen. This is Chichi Arachalu, and this is day 2 of Unlocking the Visibility Code. Thank you if you joined me yesterday and you watched the replay. We're going to continue today with the lessons. I'm going to share with you some of the things that people do that are not great in helping them with their visibility and how you can avoid them. So it is Saturday morning. It is early, 7 o'clock here in the UK. My whole family is sleeping, and I'm going to give it a couple of minutes, check that it's live streaming, and also check that it's sent the notification through. So give it a couple of minutes and then we'll start. So if you are joining and this is your first time, please come and say hi and tell me where you're watching from. I always love to see us with an international audience of people who are on here live. And if you're watching the replay as well, welcome. All right, so let's see. Is this live in the group? Hi, Olorunke. Hi. I'm just checking it's live in the group and then we'll start. But good morning to you. Good morning, good morning. Okay, I can see myself. We are live in the group. All is good. So yes, happy Saturday. How are you? And today we're going to continue with our series about unlocking the visibility code. And I'm going to talk today really about what not to do and some of the mistakes that I see people doing and how that impacts their visibility and their brand and also ultimately their growth and getting clients, okay? So I'm just going to share with you 2 quotes that I really, really love. And they're by a guy called Bernard Kelvin Clive, and he is like a personal branding coach. And you're watching from Lagos. Awesome. I love that. I haven't been to Lagos yet. I'm hoping to go this year by God's grace. So there's so many people now I know in Lagos. I'm hoping to come and see all of you. Hi, Madupe. Good morning. So these 2 quotes, let me share these quotes for you. Okay. First one, visibility without value is vanity. And the second one is visibility doesn't automatically translate into value. Okay? Don't just be everywhere. Be where you are most needed. So I'll say that again. Visibility doesn't automatically translate into value. Don't just be everywhere. Be where you are most needed. And those quotes are by Bernard Kelvin Klein. And I love those quotes because they really just remind you about what visibility truly is. Leading with value, being where your people are and serving them and giving them what they need. So this leads me into my very first mistake that I see people doing, okay, when it comes to the visibility. Hi, Folakami. So firstly, they are everywhere, okay? So one mistake that you can make with your visibility is to be everywhere. So on every social media platform, trying to kind of do everything. And the thing is that when you're everywhere, you're very, very much stretched and then you're not actually effective. Okay, so rather than, be on Snapchat, on Instagram, on Facebook, on LinkedIn and all these other platforms, you want to be on 1 or 2 where you can be really, really good, where you can deliver the value, where you can be consistent and you can show up there on a regular basis. And one of the things that you want to make sure is that you only need to be where your clients are. Okay, so for me, Facebook has always been a great lead generator for me. My clients are here on Facebook. I've always found clients on Facebook. So it would make no sense for me to be somewhere else. So I am here on Facebook. But I also know that my ideal clients, they hang out on Instagram. So once you've mastered a platform, you can then move to somewhere else and master there. What I find is so people are everywhere. And then you go and check out these profiles and they're very much dead. Nothing's happening. There's no updates. There's no status updates. Oh, can you not hear me? Okay, let me just see if my mic's better. Is that better? Can you hear me now? So yeah, you can't, you have all these updates that are not being posted because they're everywhere and people cannot maintain all these social profiles. So that actually reflects badly on you because you say on your website, okay, go to my Twitter, go to my Snapchat, go to this, and you're not posting. Kafola Kami, is it better now? You can't see your voice. Okay, hold on. You can't hear me. Let me see. Let me see if this is better. Take out the mic. Is it better now? Can you hear me? I'm going to talk without the microphone. So is it clearer now? Let me know. Fademi, you're funny. Can you hear me now? I've taken out the microphone. Let me know. Thumbs up, hearts, let me know, and I'll before I continue. Good morning, Fina. Can you hear me before I continue? A lot better. Okay, cool. All right. So the first point is that don't be everywhere. All right. Just be where your people are. You don't want to be in every single social media platform and you're not basically running them effectively. Okay. And what I see is people doing that and they have like lots of empty profiles and it doesn't look good. So you only need to be where your ideal client is, because that's where you're going to connect with them. That's where you're going to be able to showcase your expertise. That's where you're going to be able to nurture the relationship. Okay, so that's number one. Number two, you are not leading with value. So I see people just post random things. I look at people's Facebook pages, particularly when I'm doing reviews and things, and there's no substance to what's being posted, and there's been no thought gone into what's been posted. A lot of times people struggle to know what to post, but also you have to ask yourself, when I post this, what is the value? What is somebody going to take away from this? How is this going to help them? And, sometimes there's no thought given to that. And so you see kind of mixed messages, you see content that's not very in depth, and you see things that is not full of value. You always have to lead with value, because then when you want to ask for the sale, people are like, oh, well, she always gives value, so I know that she knows her stuff and I know that she's consistent, and so you have to do that. So if you're finding that you're just posting for posting's sake, I don't believe you should post for posting's sake. I don't believe you should email your list for just for the sake of it. And even in a Facebook group, if you run a Facebook group, I personally, ask myself, is this going to be of value, or am I just taking up space? Because there's so much information out there right now, and so you're basically putting stuff out there, and you have to ask yourself, is this better than what is already out there? And if it's not, then think about how you can make it better. All right, so that's number two. The third mistake I see people making is that they're not original. Okay, so you're not original. You kind of come into the online space and you're trying to impersonate somebody else. I remember a couple of years ago when I first became a coach, everybody was trying to be like Marie Forleo. So whoever the kind of the latest guru or whoever it is, people just want to be like that person rather than be the best version of themselves. And so the issue is you find yourself copying somebody and how they do things and what they say and the content that they put out without fully understanding what their bigger strategy is. And so that may not necessarily sit with your strategy. And you start to kind of pretend to be somebody and not be your true self. And people are attracted to whatever you put out. So if what you're putting out is not your true self, you're going to attract more of those people who are attracted to that persona. So you want to be yourself. You want to be original. You want to, just because you're seeing me do video doesn't mean you have to do video. It might not jive with you. You might not like it. You might not feel comfortable, but yet you write amazing posts. You can write beautifully. Your content, your written content is strong. And so go there and do that. Or you may like to talk, and so a podcast or audio might be better for you. So you want to really, good morning, Wale. You really want to focus on who is it, I call it discovering your genius power. So like, what is it that makes me me and makes me special? And that's the brand I'm going to grow. So for me, like, I spent a lot of time, I need to do my blog posts, I need to write these things. And I realized that it just takes me so long. It's not a natural thing for me. However, get in front of a camera or, record an audio, it's natural, it's easy, and I can connect to my tribe far quicker and easier, all right? And again, there's many ways to get to 9. 2 plus 7, 6 plus 3. So the end goal is for you to raise awareness of your brand. The end goal is to build engagement. The end goal is to nurture your tribe. How you get there is entirely up to you, because you're different and your methods are different. So don't feel that you have to copy. Don't copy other people, because people sense it. They sense it when you're trying to be somebody else, and you have your own unique voice. Good morning, Ekwemese. So you want to have your unique voice and share that with the world. Okay, the number four, the number fourth mistake I see people making is that you don't put your best foot forward. What I mean by that is people are very much about the eye, like what do they see, okay? And so you're putting out like visual branding that's very inconsistent, it's not matching, it doesn't look professional. You may come and do Facebook Live and you just look shabby. Now, I'm not saying you have to be like all made up every time, but you have to understand every time you have a touch point with somebody, they're forming an impression, and you want to make sure that it's consistent with your whole brand. You want to be a professional person. You want everything you put out there, written, audio, visuals, has to look good. And I see so many people fall down this way because they have really great content, but because they've packaged it in a way that's not good or in a way that's not nice, people don't see that. You know, they see the kind of amateurish DIY-ness and they're like, oh, this is not good. But then you have somebody who's very slick and nice pictures and everything, and they have no substance, but they get the sales because they have packaged themselves well. And Victor talks about this a lot, packaging ourselves. And the problem is, by the time people realize that that person has no substance, that's further down the line and you've lost the sale. And so you want to make sure that your content obviously is excellent, but the way you package it has to be key. If you look at my brand, I'm very much about the visuals. I mean, that my background is graphic and web design, so it is easy for me, but you know, I'm very much like the first impression people get when they come in touch with my brand, when they see my website, it has to be professional, it has to be good, and it needs to all be coordinated. So when you see everything that I put out, everything is coordinated, it matches, you can spot my things and you can be like, oh, that's Chichi. Okay, so you want people to be able to do that. Just like when you see Apple products, you see Virgin products, you spot them, you know them in the marketplace because they have a consistent brand and a consistent visual brand that all works together. Okay, so don't let yourself down. Okay, don't prevent people from buying your things because you've packaged it in a bad way. Okay, the next point I would say, you're whispering. I'm not whispering. I'm just, it's very early. I normally would have used, I would have used headphones, but people can't hear. So I'm not whispering, but I am talking, I'm not talking as loudly as I would because I have people sleeping in the house. But if you can hear me okay, then just, you know, you're doing great. I don't want to shout. I don't normally shout, but I would have spoken a bit more, what have you. It's just it's early and there's people sleeping. And you don't want my kids in here while I do this, so. But if you're struggling to hear, just let me know, okay? I can see what I can do, but I will talk closer to the camera. The next one is the next mistake I see people make is that they're hiding behind a brand. Okay, so people buy from people, and so you may go to a Facebook page and rather than see people's faces, you see logos, and you never get to see who's behind the business because they're just hiding behind it. Now, from a visibility perspective, if you think of some of the biggest companies in the world who have amazing brands and are very, very visible, I also bet you can tell me who their CEO is or who their top leadership team are because they're very much visual people. They make sure that they're out there so people can connect with them and the brand. So Richard Branson and Virgin, you know, Steve Jobs and Apple, these people are synonymous with their brand and their business, and you want to be that person who people connect with you and they know who you are. So if it's a big, I think it's a really big mistake to hide behind a business because nobody wants to buy from a business. They want to buy from a person. And they want to connect with you. They want to know what your story is. They want to know, why should I buy from you? What has happened in your life that has brought you to this point? What is the journey you have come on? I want to buy from you. Hi, Tussin. So don't hide behind your brand. Be confident, be bold. We talked about this yesterday, okay? Don't be fearful. It's funny, this morning I was reading about do not fear. Do not fear. Just be confident and talk about what you do. Share about who you are and let people get to know you as a brand. People, when they come to work with my company, they don't come to work with a faceless company. They've connected with the brand and they've connected with me because that's what they see. So you want that for yourself as well. Okay. Number 6, this is a big mistake I see people making. Okay. So you put out these posts, you do these videos, you do all these things and you have no call to action. Okay. So this is basically where you're telling people what's the next step. So, you know, you do a video and it's great and people are engaging. So what's next? What is it you want them to do? Book a call, go to your website, sign up to your email list. You need to always have a call to action. Every web page has a call to action. Every blog post has a call to action because you are in control of this customer journey. You want to tell people what is the next step. Okay, this is what I want you to do. This is where I want you to go. So if you're not putting calls to actions in your posts, and the things that you're putting on Instagram, the things that you're putting in your videos, you're missing opportunities because people want to be told what to do. Okay, so calls to action, direct people where they need to go. Tell them, now your next step is come to this page, buy this product, come to this page, book this call, join my list, join my group. Tell people what you want them to do. And finally, the biggest mistake I see a lot of people making that really hurts your visibility is not being consistent, okay? So you could have all this beautiful stuff, beautiful branding, you have a really great message, you are the face of your brand, you are on the platforms you need to be, but then you don't show up consistently, okay? You come one day, you come tomorrow, and then nobody sees you for 2 weeks. And then you come back again, and then you disappear, and then you come back again. You're really damaging the relationship with your potential customers when you do that. The know, like, and trust factor is built upon that consistent showing up, delivering value, and being there. So, a person might be looking at you going, well, if they can't even show up consistently on their Facebook page or on my email list, how can I trust them with my business? Okay. And like I said yesterday, it takes like 3 months from activity you're doing now to see the results, okay? So if you stop and start, think of it this way, you're going backwards. Good morning, Tussin. You start doing some really great work for a week, you don't see any results yet, because you're not going to see results. You may see something, but most likely it takes a little bit longer. You get discouraged, you're like, this is not working, you stop, you go do something else. You've already broken that consistency. If you want to do something, if you want to start something, commit to it for a month, commit to it for 2 months, 3 months, commit. When I was like, I'm going to be consistent with my visibility, I made this commitment. I'm going to just show up every day for as long as it takes. So don't allow your lack of consistency to damage your brand and to cause you to keep going backwards every time you are looking to build your visibility, okay? So they're the 7 things. Let me recap them. Number 1, don't be everywhere. Choose your platforms, only be where your ideal client is, and get really good at delivering value. Hi, Edward, good morning. Get really good at delivering value, showing up there consistently, engaging, okay? So that's another thing, you get people engaging in your posts and you don't even engage back, but that you're complaining that you haven't got enough likes, engagement. If people engage and comment on your things, go back and engage. That's huge. Number 2, you're not leading with value. You're spamming, you're not putting quality content out there, you're just throwing things out there hoping it will stick. But actually it's a reflection on your brand that you don't put out quality. And then they're thinking, if this is the free stuff, then the paid stuff is not going to be great. Okay, you want people to be like, oh my goodness, if this is her free stuff, her paid stuff is going to be amazing. Okay, lead with value. The third point is you're not being original. You're copying what other people are doing. Don't be like the next Victor. Don't be the next Chichi. Be the next you. Okay, you are you. You are unique. You're special. Be you, and focus on how you can grow you. All right. Number 4, you're not putting your best foot forward. You have great content, you have great work, but you've packaged it in a very mediocre way, okay? In a very DIY way. Your visuals not looking good. You don't have professional pictures. You say you're a serious business person, but what is being put out there does not reflect that. Okay, you're letting yourself down. All right. Number 5, you are hiding behind a brand, so you need to personalize your brand. You need to let people in, let people know who you are, what you're about, what you like, what you don't like, who's behind the business. Let them connect. Be vulnerable. Do not fear. Okay. Number 6, you don't have any calls to action when you post on your platforms, on your blogs, on your videos, and you're missing opportunities to direct people where you want them to go. And finally, the biggest mistake I see people making is that they're not consistent. So they're stopping and starting and stopping and starting, and that hurts your brand massively. And if you think about it this way, if you just remind yourself that every time you stop, you're going to kind of go backwards because you're going to rebuild that momentum again. So I'd really encourage you to just keep going. And that's why I tell my clients, rather than promise the world and, try and do so many things, just make a commitment for the foundation things that you're going to do. So I know for myself, I make a commitment to do a live stream every day. If I do nothing else, I believe that's enough in terms of my visibility and delivering value and connecting to my community. So decide for yourself, what is the minimum that you will do as your barest minimum, so that, if all else fails, you've done that, business is good. All right. So that is the summary. That is the mistakes I see people making and how you shouldn't make them yourself. So thank you, Fina, for the summary. Let me see if I've missed any questions. And let me see if I've said hello to everybody. So we said I had Olarunke, Madupe, Folakemi, Padepi, Fina, we've had Wale, we've had Ikwemisi, Ugumba, we've had Tustin, Edward, and that is everybody. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And apologies for the sound at the beginning. I will test that with my headset. But like I said, it's early and I don't want to wake up my kids. So thank you so much, guys. As always, if you have any questions, please post them in the chat. I'm going to go through and check if there's anything that I've missed. I'll be back tomorrow for the final session where I am going to be sharing with you the 6 C's in terms of unlocking the visibility code. This is the final step in the series. So I hope you found it useful. If there's anything that you feel like you want to know about in terms of visibility that I haven't covered, just let me know in the chat and I'll see what I can do in terms of adding it tomorrow. So Amola, good morning. Tussin, you're so welcome. Thank you so much. I'm getting better and better by the day. Yes, you will. And this is the thing. Just keep going. Consistency brings better results. It brings, better quality. You get better. You get better. So Edward, thank you too. All right. So enjoy your Saturday. Have a wonderful weekend and I'll see you tomorrow. Thank you, Austin. Take care. Bye.